And welcome back to another special edition of the Michael Decon program. First time listeners, thanks for finding this. We hope you enjoy your stay. Please come again. It is my great pleasure to announce to all of you yet again, there is no guest tonight. It's just you, me, and Mr. Mike Hideous. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing me into your hearts and into your minds. Here we are again on a night like this. Happy Tuesday. It's September 22nd, 2020. Hello to all you great folks in the chat room. Hello to you wonderful people that listen via the podcast. International listeners out there, you know who you are. We've got another great show for you this evening, and it's all going down like a Chinese hospital. 2020 is nearly over, and so is the foundation of America. Tonight we will be discussing a plethora of topics ranging from very serious matters to quite ludicrous matters. I recommend sticking around. It's gonna be fun. And yes, your phone calls are always welcomed. I guess you can say tonight is Wide Open Phones, or WOP. Yes, we can go with that. Tonight is WOP, Wide Open Phones, and it is now that time to bring in Mr. Mike Hideous, who is patiently waiting. Mike, what's going on?
Hello, Michael.
Tonight I announced it was going to be wide open phones, or as I like to say, WAP.
I take great offense to that. I'm going to start a movement against you.
I'm fired already. How's it going, Mike? It's been a while.
Yes, it has. 2 weeks, and yes, I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well. I had a blast last show, and I'm sure we'll do a blast of a show this time.
It was fun, right?
Yep.
Usually is. And Mike, I had all kinds of things to ask you tonight, but before we jump into dark matters, I wanted to bring this to light, especially for the listeners who have been listening to me and you for the past, 5 months now, right?
More than that.
More than that. It's been like 6.
Probably more like 8.
Holy crap. Well, when we first started, you're very, you were very much against the idea of September 11th, potentially being an inside job, if I recall.
I was on the borderline of trying to comprehend whether or not
Right.
all these conspiracy theories were
Legit
had
or
any
bullshit, right?
any validity to them.
Right.
Is that the right word? Validity?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the proper word. And this is something I've always considered when I'm talking to those that are from the East Coast and those who were near a certain radius. It's a touchy subject, but that was...
It is.
Yeah. But that was something that changed me for my hunt for answers, the never-ending quest. And I know people say you should always grow and change your opinion on things. And while it's true, you should. For myself, I've have grown, but my opinion on certain issues have not changed or altered much. And that feeling, Mike, I felt then is still here today.
So ultimately, what you're saying is that you still believe that there is something underlying that we do not know about. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And Mike, it's pretty awesome, talking to you. You've been, again, a little resistant of the idea, but now I'm proud to say that you've finally been red-pilled to a certain degree.
Well, no, hang on. Let's not jump the gun.
Am I jumping the gun?
I will admit that I have really listened to and or watched some of the theories that people have committed. And I gotta be honest, I'm still teetering on the fence. I'm willing, if someone can show me and prove to me 100% that there was some sort of underlying manipulative government involvement in this, I will, by all means, I will accept it. But I'm still teetering, to be perfectly honest.
Yes. It's still a bit of an issue for you, but you are much more closer to being somewhat receptive of the idea, correct?
Yes. I'm willing to, again, I'm willing to accept whatever.
Understood.
Whatever hardcore facts might be presented.
I just feel like everyone has sort of forgotten what happened. The colossal mistake the Bush administration committed, the innocent lives lost from war, that was never justified.
I agree.
All set on false pretenses. No weapons of mass destruction ever found anywhere.
I was so against the war
in
Iraq. I really was, because they did not need to be attacked. They did not. And Saddam Hussein should never have been killed.
In the chat, they're asking, what about the captain, Mike?
What about Captain?
Captain Dan Handley.
Please refresh my memory with that. Who is that again?
The airline pilot that was speaking out against 9/11.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. And you know what?
You didn't find him compelling at all.
Fascinating information. But again, it's still...
You're not all the way in yet.
I'm still teetering, Michael.
That's okay.
Still teetering.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah, it's like getting your first DUI and going to class. It's the first step, Mike. First step to recovery.
Okay.
You ever known those alcoholics though, Mike? The ones who have to drink like while they're driving? Or even riding shotgun in a car?
That was like how I used to be with pot. I used to have to smoke pot to drive.
You had to smoke pot while you had to drive, Mike?
when I was younger, I had to smoke pot when
You
I
couldn't
drive.
just light up and then go drive?
Yeah, I suppose I could have, but I was just the kind of guy who liked to drive with a joint in my mouth.
Damn, look at you.
Begging to be pulled over and
Look at
arrested.
Mike.
Mind you, back then too. I mean, we're talking like 30 years ago.
Right.
If you got caught with a roach in your ashtray or on you, you could have served like 5 years in prison.
You're in deep trouble.
Yep.
Especially if you lived in Vegas.
Is that so?
Or Nevada. Yeah, one seed and you're done.
Really?
Yeah, but things change. Or they have changed, rather. I mean, now it's pretty much legal out there for recreational purposes, I believe now.
And I think even where it's not legal, the cops have been much more lenient.
Yeah, it's much more lax.
On arresting you. Yeah.
Right. I heard the bird.
Yeah, he said.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's listening to me get excited.
Does he also smoke a joint before he flies?
Regretfully, no. But he makes fun of me when I'm stoned.
Love that. So yes, Saddam Hussein was a CIA asset. So was Osama bin Laden. It's almost like people forgot all of a sudden. I think, Mike, we are constantly lied to, constantly screwed. But hey, you can't handle the truth, Mike, according to Big Brother.
So they say.
You can't handle the truth, Mike. You're not man enough for the truth, they say.
Yeah, but I think the truth depends on which side you're standing on. Some people might say, well, the truth is this, the truth is A, but the opposing side would say truth is B.
Right, I hear you. Yeah. Well, the truth hurts.
Indeed it does.
And I'm here to deliver the truth no matter how bad it hurts, that's for sure.
Do you know something I don't? What are you getting at here?
I know a lot of things that scare me, Mike. I'm scared of myself.
Are you?
I freak myself out sometimes, yeah. Just had a 30-minute conversation with myself about a week ago.
Oh, you do that too?
I was alone and I had a deep conversation with myself.
Yeah, I do that too, but that's because I live alone and I have no friends.
Well, I was acting as my own psychiatrist. I was thinking that perhaps I'm maybe schizophrenic to a certain extent, because I was having a real deep conversation with two different voices going on.
That's
fucking crazy.
Interesting.
It really was, but
yeah.
Caller, how's it going? How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just admitting to Mike that I'm a little insane.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I don't know. I can't confirm. But yeah, 30 minutes. I went 48 minutes, I want to say, maybe 33 seconds last night. So I
think it's probably because I like my voice. That's probably what it was.
Could be.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Preamp, the sweet preamp.
Next time I'll have to record myself talking nonsense.
There you go. Or you could you could give us your Skype feed and we could actually see.
Or that but too. Hey, go ahead, caller. I'm sorry for
not gonna happen.
Going nuts there. Go ahead. Did you have a question or anything to add? This is Wide Open Phones. WAP. Go ahead.
Well, isn't Mike the WAP, right?
He sure is. He's a Black Kelly.
I sure am. I'm full-time WAP.
Know it, buddy. Cheers. It's Barsky, by the way. How's it going, guys?
Hi, guy.
We're good.
We're good. I just thought I'd call and say what's up. I wanted to pass along more nonsense from my backyard, which is Kenosha.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again.
Give us a report.
So I don't know if you guys... No, luckily there aren't fires currently, but apparently they just released... I saw some of the footage from Rittenhouse, that kid with the AR.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And holy shit. It's pretty damn egregious at this juncture. I'm sure we all, everybody's seen the arm getting blown off of that piece of shit. I think a punk ass.
I think all of them are pieces of shit out there, to be honest with you.
Same here. I'm really glad I
think you're a scumbag if you're out there protesting anything. To be honest, I don't give a fuck what you're protesting. I think you're a piece of shit being out there in the street holding a sign. To me, you're just a mark, in my opinion. If you're doing that shit.
Thank you. I agree wholeheartedly.
I mean, I could be wrong. I'm sure there's other people out there who disagree, and I know people disagree with that because people were complaining to me.
All right, hang on, guys. Hang on. Both of you.
I was going to talk to you about that, Mike. I was getting complaints about this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to ask you guys, both of you guys, a question here. You do realize that it is in the Constitution. Is it the Constitution? I might be wrong. I'm sorry.
But so is murder, Mike.
The Bill of Rights.
Yeah, but hang on.
But you can't murder people, though, Mike.
Protest is acceptable provided it is not violent.
Violent. Correct. Yep.
So, I have nothing against protest as long as you don't go breaking people's windows, fighting, throwing things, that's where the problem is caused. But I think protest is somewhat healthy. It can sometimes bring about change. If it's done properly and communicated properly to the right authorities, it could be something potentially worked out.
I'm not that much of a hippie to do that, so.
And neither am I. I'm far from being a hippie. You know that.
I can't do that. I don't support protesting on any issue at all, to be honest.
Okay, what about those who stood up and said, "Hey, legalize it"? Now you were on for that.
I would tell them to get a job.
Goddamn right. Oh, Jesus, right. Oh, that's amazing.
You have anything better else to do than just stand around holding a sign? I mean, that's pretty pathetic.
Should be free.
Hey, Hideous, I don't know if you're in the same boat as me, but I'm in Wisconsin, and we don't have legalized. I got to go to Illinois tomorrow morning to the dispensary, for crying out loud.
So you got to drive pretty far just to get pot, right?
No. Dude, there's multiple really good dispensaries literally 25 minutes south of me. So it's not a big deal. I just crossed the border just south of Kenosha and literally all right there because it's northern Chicago suburbs. So prices, though, that's the thing. I mean...
Well, it's going to be expensive.
Well, so this is what we're looking at is essentially if I wanted to black market street, which I would never do, is like 35 an eighth. So 30 to 35 for, loud A's, name brand. But, from what I understand, I haven't gone to a dispensary yet down there. So tomorrow's going to be my first rodeo. But from what I understand, it's like 50 to 60 an eighth, which is obscene. But I need, just a couple little things, some edibles as well.
Oh, don't go broke out there,
Yeah, I know better.
Spending all your money on pot out there.
Yeah, it's not too bad though. I make it last. I'm not like I used to be. So, but yeah, that's one thing. I don't know how it is out by you, Mike. You're in PA, right?
I'm in PA. Yeah. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I have a couple of friends here and there who will send me a few tasty morsels here and there, but truth be told, and this goes, I got to be honest. I actually liked it better when pot was illegal. I'll tell you why. It is and don't take this the wrong way, guys. I'm not saying you guys in particularly, or anybody for that matter. I just think that what they're doing is they're setting up by all these dispensaries and making it, allowing people to just get pot at will. I think it's setting up the younger generation to be a bunch of potheads. Don't take that the wrong way. I think they're setting them up to be a potheads, and it's going to end up making the world stupid.
Get this though, Mike. I agree, but get this. I'll actually take what you said, and I'll compound one other thing. That's actually I'm starting to see it and reading more reports. Is they're actually starting to glyphosate literally in some of the shit that's been tested. I don't know if
what
it's
is
California.
That? What is that?
Might have been Oregon. That's Roundup, dude. So we're talking like big fucking stupid pharma, and not big pharma necessarily, but those types of pieces of shit clearly see dollar signs and have been for a long time with, getting this shit legalized. So apparently there's been multiple situations so far with testing, and they're finding, where it's supposed to be organic and, this, that, and the other GMO free. Well, no, there's actually, they're messing with a lot of things from what I understand. And it hasn't necessarily broken in the news, so to speak, yet, but I've seen a few things over the past week that have been rather alarming. So that's another reason I see this as not the best, you know what I mean, for smokers. So smokers, whatever, any consumer of cannabis, it's freaky.
Well, it's not
really
safe. Anything that you put inside your body is
Smoke-wise.
Yeah, smoke-wise is not safe, especially cannabis, especially all the pesticides that are already being added to the grow.
Are there really?
There's a shitload of chemicals, my friend. That
I didn't know that.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And it's very expensive stuff too, by the way.
See, now, for both of you guys who are both smokers, as well as I am, I admit it, and I think that the younger generation, like some of these people, and let's face it, there are kids who start smoking regular cigarettes at age 10, 11, 12.
I did. Yep, I did.
Right.
You're talking to one over there. Look at that.
I knew kids when I was 13 who were smoking cigarettes, and I didn't start smoking until I was 30. And as far as weed is concerned, I didn't start smoking weed until I was 21. All my friends were smoking it at like 15,
early.
14.
Yeah,
but I never did. I was straight edge. So the point is,
Same here, Mike. Seriously, I was straight edge for a while, but not that I'm proud of that. But this is scene, part of the scene, right?
Yeah. So
Decon gives me shit about it. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that I don't think there's anything wrong with eating edibles that have marijuana in them. I think it's a safer high. Am I wrong in saying that? Because I think it's safer than actually smoking it. But and plus it lasts for like 5-8 hours.
I think it just depends on that person.
I've overdosed.
Yeah, because there's people who have just ate like a tiny edible and they had to go to the hospital. I mean, well, they felt like they had to go to the hospital. I would have to recommend anyone that feels that way just to lay down and go to sleep for a little bit. But
exactly.
Yeah, but you know how some people are. They freak out. And I've known plenty of people that had to call an ambulance, that they thought they were having a heart attack. And one of them is a listener right now. Shout out to Max Cole, who's listening in. Eventually, he saw poor Max. I believe he ate an edible and he thought he was having a heart attack. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Wow.
I've smoked. When I was younger, about 24, I smoked out of a bong, like a 4-foot bong. And I was with a bunch of friends, and I took one hit, and oh my God, it went right to my head. It hit me so hard, I passed out for 2 hours on my friend's couch. I thought I was going to die.
Dude,
that's a good story to me.
I got a good one, and I'll sign off with this story, you guys. So I want to say maybe 2015. I had got some edibles from a friend. We got some Rice Krispie treats, and a week prior to this, we had gotten the same ones from the same person. And I remember my buddy was like, my roommate was like, only eat like half. I was like, okay. So I ate half. I was like, this ain't shit. So I ate the rest. He's like, you ate the rest of it? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, have fun. I was fine. So then this second time we was like, some more. We got him. I was like, he goes, I ate the whole thing right away before we could even like repackage it up. And I'm at my ex-wife's house, which is right up the street. And it's hilarious. So anyway, he goes, did you just eat the whole thing? I was like, yeah. You saw me last week. It was fine. I didn't barely even feel shit. And he goes, oh, fuck. And I was like, what? He goes, these are way stronger. And I was like, well, whatever. I'm fine. So we hang out for a little bit, have a couple beers and hanging out. And he takes off. And about 20 minutes later, I'm just chilling. I was like, all right, talking to my ex-wife. I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow, whatever. And we live 4 blocks away from each other. So I'm going to walk home now. I walk out the back door and turn the corner. And I could barely fucking walk, dude. I had to put my hand, I had to literally hold the wall, because we live in like a row houses right in downtown Milwaukee. And I'm just holding the wall, the brick wall, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't even walk home 4 blocks, like this isn't even okay. And I turn the corner and I walk back in the front door of her apartment. I walk in the front door of her apartment, right? And she's like, so what'd you forget? I was like, I can't walk home. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, that's really strong. She's like, all right, it's cool, just chill. And I sat down on the couch. I passed out. And a roommate came pounding on the door apparently at about 3 a.m. that night. And she answered the door. And he was saying somebody had broken into our apartment. And he caught him when he was walking up the stairs. He heard him running out the back door down into the alley, and didn't get a visual on him. But someone stole a snare drum from me, and like a $500 snare, and some other musical equipment. And that night, now mind you, dude came to Crystal's door, ex-wife, and he's like pounding on the door. She's trying to wake me up, freaking out, like, dude, your house is being robbed. She said she was punching me in the face. I have no recollection of this. Punching me in the face, trying to get me to wake up. I don't remember any of it. The next day I wake up and she's smoking weed because she's just a huge pothead. And the smell was making me ill. I literally couldn't, I believe I OD'd, to be totally honest with you. And I couldn't smoke. I couldn't smell it. I couldn't do anything for almost a month. No shit.
Yeah. It's like when you drink too much and you throw up and you don't want to smell the alcohol and
like the Jameson. It's like the Jameson is the word. Like I can handle powers all day, but Jameson, for some reason, that's the devil, man. Worst hangovers for me personally, but that's just my pussy.
Right on, my friend. We will talk to you again very soon. There's someone calling in and they won't stop calling.
All right, guys, bye.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Take care, man.
Yes, caller, you are live on the air. What happened? You keep calling.
Oh, hello. Yeah, it's open lines, isn't it?
Yeah, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
Was there an emergency?
No, I just wanted to be sure I spoke to Mr. Hideous.
You were calling in, or you were calling like someone that wanted some drugs or something?
Like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, this guy was calling in like a coke fiend. Holy shit.
What's up, caller? How you doing? This is Mike.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Yeah. No, I called in before the last time Mr. Hideous was on, and I wanted to give a shout out to your chat. They definitely, if anything, they're definitely keeping it real. They made some funny comments about I was quite long-winded, and I promise I'm not going to make that mistake this time.
Well, you're fucking up already.
I just to support what Mr. Hideous was talking about when he his support of the Trump and the present administration, and we talked about like going down a memory hole. There were individuals that called in to talk, that gave some, they were doing like ad hominem attacks on the present president. And I thought, I don't know whether you can indulge me here, but if you go down the memory hole and you look at the track record of the previous administration and this administration, it's truly like, night and day. I mean, I think the biggest issue that we could all be talking about right now is the upcoming election. Now, I know that there are individuals that get into power. Of course, they're holding power, and they have alliances with individuals. Of course they do. But attacking the person or the person's character, I would just attack their record first. I mean, I could give you a long laundry list of the previous administrations. I don't know whether you have time for it, so I'm not going to go into it if I don't need to. But I certainly could with the kinds of things that have been done. And I think that the core issue here is whether we want to side on law or lawlessness. I think that's really ultimately, because what we're getting from the Democratic Party is going to just be more lawlessness.
But they don't see it that way. You understand? They don't see it that way.
Yeah. Well,
the thing here is we've got we've got two different administrations with two different ideologies. One of them, that being Donald Trump and his administration, wants to get the corruption out of government, whereas the other side, the left side, wants to create a whole new system simply based on the fact that Donald Trump, who they absolutely hate, and it's beyond anything at this point. This guy could cure cancer, and they would get pissed off at him because he didn't do it fast enough. So it's not even about his policies, because he's kept just about every single promise he said he was going to make. But the left doesn't want him in office because they're scared of him. They're scared of him because he's cleaning house. So that's basically the bottom line. That's the argument. They don't want him in power because he's not a politician, never was, and he's coming in as an American trying to straighten things up. And that's what, in my opinion, I firmly believe the Democrat Party has a lot to hide, and that's why they don't want him in office, because if he finds out, they're toast.
Well, I agree. I think they've already found out. That's the thing. I think that they've already found out, and things can be done in a second term that couldn't necessarily be done in the first.
This is true. This is true, and let's hope. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Hillary Clinton goes to jail. What do you think, Michael?
No one's going to jail.
You're right. Absolutely. You're 100% right. They're not going to jail.
You're on crack if you think anyone's going to jail.
Yeah, there's not going to be any justice.
Why would you think that it would be in a civil court?
Oh, you're asking me, Kohler?
No, I was asking Mike. Why would you think that they're going to necessarily go to jail or be brought up in charges in a civil court? What about a military tribunal?
Well, I got to be honest. I don't know much about the differences between the two, to be quite honest with you. Look, bottom line is, I just hope justice will prevail. I hope these people who have been screwing our country, quite literally, like screwing our country, I hope they're brought to justice. I can only hope that the right thing is done, whether it is or not. Who am I? What difference am I going to make by saying it? Politics is above most of us.
You're right. You're a citizen, so we do have the right to view our opinions and try, at our very best, try to support them with evidence. If you have you have to support your argument with premises, but you have every right to share that. That's the wonderful thing about a program like this. I said it before. Mike has opened up an avenue, like many of the other alternative media, for individuals to view their opinions. If they're a citizen of the states, then they're part of the union. I mean, I totally understand people's they feel ambivalent because of the fact that there was both sides appeared to be playing ball. They appeared to be on the same team. I do believe, though, that there is a dramatic shift that's going on. I think people fail to I guess they don't remember that. Wasn't Trump like a lifelong Democrat? I mean, wasn't he with John Jr. all those years, and the Kennedys, and that maybe the Kennedys Democrat he was, but he certainly isn't. Now he had to join the other party for a particular reason. But I just see that either way, our government is definitely going to be radically transformed. The question that we have to ask ourselves is that whether we want it to be on the side of law or lawlessness. I mean, we can all, click our red slippers together and say, Toto, I just wish the greatest place to be is back home, and hope that everything will work out. But, countries are definitely run by governments, and I don't think that there's ever been another document like the Constitution. So I don't, we are all part of it. Like you said, Mike, but you are part of it. our voices need to be heard. You are part of it. You are making a difference every time you speak to an individual and try to support what you're saying because you want a better life in the future.
And I appreciate that. And yes, I agree. But there are things that take place behind closed doors that we as citizens cannot control. As a matter of fact, Michael and I were just speaking about 9/11. I don't know if you heard that part, but we were talking about how I'm still teetering on whether or not there was an inside job on 9/11, and because it's so hard for me to accept. Like, how could my government do that to innocent people? And Michael tells me all the time that there are things that take place that we can't control and that we don't know about, and they're going to continue to happen. So the point of the matter is, politics is going to be way above us. It's always going to be way above the little guy. And those little guys are people like me, Michael, you, and anybody out there in this country if you're not in politics. For example, not to get into a whole discussion here, but here in Pennsylvania, Governor Wolf was recently sued by the people of Pennsylvania for the actions of closing down businesses. I can't remember exactly the terms that they used, but apparently it was unconstitutional what he did. So the people took him to court. They won the court case, and now he's appealing, which means in the long run, he's not going to end up serving or having to do anything. He's going to have his lawyers appeal for as long as possible, and this will drag on forever, and nothing will ever get done. More than likely, because that's how politics works. Anybody there?
Caller.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
I appreciate
there you go.
Graham. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Thank you,
you
Mike.
for calling. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what I think.
Right on.
Good Lord. Please give us a better caller. I beg you. Put me to sleep there, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good Lord. Not your fault there, Mike. It was the caller there.
Really?
Yeah, put me to sleep.
Good call.
If you say so.
All right.
Good God. Anyways, as we were talking about 9/11, see, Mike, that's the issue.
Yes.
You're an East Coast guy.
Yes.
I noticed that about those who live in the East Coast.
What is that?
They have a very hard time even coming to any sort of tangible conclusion that maybe even perhaps we had some prior info before the attacks.
But we did. We did, didn't we?
Of course we did.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a matter of acting, but...
So you agree with that part, but...
Absolutely. There are things that I have learned.
Where's the
through
but?
You.
I'm waiting.
Well, there are things that I've learned through you, through the many people that we've interviewed, through countless conspiracies, theories online that I've watched, and I'm teetering on whether or not this actually where's the key that just opens up all the information that says yes, we were had. You know
well,
what I'm
our
saying?
government won't do that though, Mike, because of national security, because they don't want to cause a panic.
Agreed, and I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that. At the same time, I'm still trying to put all this together and really say, look, it's such a delicate, sensitive subject for not only for me but for many people. And we can sit there and talk to all the people that we know, Michael, who have talked about this very subject that we've interviewed.
Sure.
And I can listen to what they have to say.
But you won't be convinced.
It's not that I won't be convinced. I'm trying to gather that information and say, is this true? Did this really happen? Did we really were people really murdered by our government?
Did Watergate actually happen?
Yes, it did.
Did Martin Luther
But
King
people didn't die.
was MLK assassinated by the FBI?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Did Nazi scientists come to America?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But not
They were
9/11, right? No way, Jose.
not saying that. Just try to understand.
Amazing.
Like when I think about 3,000 people that were killed, some many, if not, many in planes. It was a horrible way to die in that collapsing building in the Pentagon. These people died a horrific way. But then again, you got people who say, like Jim Fetzer, who say there was nobody in those planes, and the Arabs that they said that were the terrorists didn't do it. It was just fake. I've yet to really get that information and process it. Like, you can tell me all the conspiracy theories in the world, but I gotta see the facts. Gotta see the facts.
You gotta see the facts, the Carfax. No, I understand, Mike.
It's tough, man. It's really tough. You got to understand, I was so devastated. Like, I literally broke down that day when at the end of the day, when I was watching the news after everything that I had seen that day, the crumbling of the buildings, the smoke in the sky. I saw it firsthand. I saw it from my street and from my building. Then I watched the news for Christmas sake. I think I must have watched the news for almost 14 hours straight. And then at the end of the night, I broke down. I was so hurt that all those people died that it was hard for me to accept. And, I wanted revenge. And now
a lot of people did, yeah.
I'm told that now it was done so that we could start a war with the Middle East. Right?
Right. To provoke a war, yes. And that, if you look throughout history, that's happened time and time again.
That's right. I agree.
So, is it that hard to imagine that we let something like this happen to get us involved in a war?
I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it isn't. I'm simply saying I'm still trying to gather something. I'm trying to gather information that's gonna trip that wire in my brain and say, you know what, Mike? This was an inside job.
I hear you. But the way it all worked out is pretty suspicious.
You know what? I will totally agree with you on that, because the more I watch, like when I watch Building 7 fall, like, how the hell did that building fall down like that? Come on.
It's a little weird.
Like, I still like people are saying, well, they heard explosions in the towers,
right,
and then they fell, and the way they fell, they imploded, sort of. They kind of collapsed on themselves. I see it. I saw all of it. I saw it the day it happened, and I've been watching it ever since for the last 19 years. However, it never occurred. Like, I'm still in belief that it was the jet fuel and the plane crashing into the building that made it happen.
You think the jet fuel is responsible?
I'm not saying I think. I'm just going based on what I saw and what I tend to believe. What I want to believe. I want to believe that it was a terrorist attack. I would hate to know that our government deceived us and killed 3,000 people.
Well, the CCP virus has killed more already.
Yeah, according to Joe Biden, 200 million.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it has surpassed the
only
numbers.
200,000.
Well, Biden, I think, is, I'm not sure if he's right about that one, but it has surpassed, though, it has surpassed the September 11th attacks. And speaking of COVID, the U.S. passed 200,000 cases now, Mike.
Yes.
And
of
course,
if you're Joe Biden, it's 200 million.
It's 200 million cases. That's right.
Yes.
That's a lot of cases, right? Regardless.
Yes, it is. Yes,
that's
it
kind
is.
of a lot.
Do you know what the world count is for it all?
Good question. I don't know.
I was just curious. No big deal.
That is a good question, though. I'm sure I'll look it up in a few.
I know. who did they say just started getting hit? Was it Florida?
Probably there. Well, there's a
No,
lot
England.
of. What was it?
England.
Okay. We're talking about internationally.
Yeah, England. I heard on the news today that England just had a jump in cases.
I was going to say, COVID-19 deaths are rising again in the U.S. after a 4-week decline, with Texas and Florida leading the way in fatalities, rather.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I read. And of course, Monday night, President Trump was out there rallying around again. And he was saying that it mostly kills elderly people and people with other problems.
Right.
Which is not exactly that wrong, but of course it does affect all of us, not just the elderly.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Let me tell you, I went out Saturday night. I was with a group of people, about maybe 50 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of them, maybe 10 people were wearing a mask.
Nobody wore a mask?
About 10 people. So I took mine off.
You took yours off?
I was like, fuck this. I'm so tired.
You were
of
peer
this
pressured?
crap. Well, I'm over it, man. I'm over it. I'm over the mask. I really am.
No, I don't like the mask either, but you know.
Especially outside. That's where like I draw the line.
You guys were outside? Where were you guys at?
It was just a party.
Okay.
Just a little party.
Strange.
And
very strange.
Yeah, so I was kind of like set back a little by everybody not being frightened. You know, we all knew each other. It wasn't like a bunch of strangers, but just kind of weird is all.
And what if you get sick?
Then I die.
Then you die a horrible death.
And then I die a horrible death.
What a feeding tube like Herman Cain.
I've had worse.
You're ready to go, right, Mike?
Yep.
And give a shit.
Not anymore.
Just die.
Not anymore, Michael.
It's over.
I'm I'm ready.
Roman is asking if I'm scared of COVID.
And?
I don't want to get sick with anything. You have to be a fucking idiot to say, yeah, let's get sick. With anything. Are you that dumb? I swear, some people have no fucking common sense, Mike.
Yeah. To some matters, I guess some matters people can be really idiotic. I mean, let's face it. I may have done a stupid thing on Saturday, but frankly, I don't give a shit anymore.
Well, live your life.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go out like Herman Cain, go out like Herman Cain.
Okay.
But life, you know, roll the dice. You can get inside your car and you could die tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. You can start jogging and get hit by a bus.
You could have a heart attack.
I mean, I don't know. We've discussed this before too, this topic, but
yeah.
In Sweden, they didn't close down their businesses, and they had a low count of deaths. I mean, they had deaths, but you know, so the flu kills people too. So I don't know. I just think shutting down the entire country was a stupid thing.
I hear you, but I like to stick with facts instead of going with feelings on things.
Okay.
And probability.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying probability is a good sure way to get a good assessment on things. And again, I don't want to get sick with anything. I don't think I have the best immune system either, Mike.
Why is that?
I just don't think I do. I mean, I don't get sick very often, but when I do get sick, I mean, I feel it, you know. You're
a healthy guy, though. You're fit, right?
I'm okay.
Okay, so what are you worried about?
Well, I'm worried about my health. I'm worried about everyone's health.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to get sick. I mean, that's the issue.
That's fair enough.
Why would I want you to get sick?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, why would I want anyone that's listening to this show to get sick?
I know a few people I'd like to get sick.
I'm just looking out for you.
I hear you. Thank you.
The government isn't doing that.
No, they are not.
They don't look out for you.
But I don't know. I think if anybody's going to be safe, you are, because you're healthy. You're young and healthy.
Well, that too, and I hate most large crowds too. You know, I'm someone who always hated standing in line and being around people, so
there you go. You should be fine.
I'll be cool.
Even did you ever go for the test to find out if you had COVID back in, what was it, January or February?
No, I was never tested.
Why don't you get a test for it, man?
I don't even think I have it, to be honest.
Okay, so
I think I just had the flu, to be honest.
Okay, well, the only reason I asked that question was because you had said a couple times you think you may have had it, so that's why I brought it up.
I was exaggerating.
Oh, now you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think I had it.
All right, okay, I take it all back.
It was in the same way I told the listeners you had COVID. I mean, that's serious.
All right, okay, I get it.
But yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, I was sick though, and I was sick for a few days, but I recovered. And that reminds me, Mike, I got a really random question for you.
Okay.
Do you wear boxers or briefs?
I knew it. I wear...
Well, let me tell you why, but go ahead.
Okay, well, finish, go ahead.
All right, well, the reason why I'm even bringing that up is because earlier, Mike, I came to sit down, and this is just a quick little thing here. I came to sit down on the computer here on the desk, and a pretty big desk, and I have a nice chair, and I'm looking at the desk, Mike, and I'm reading some email, and you ever just sort of I wouldn't say just jumped on the chair, but you sort of like push yourself off, and it's hard to describe what I did, but I got on the chair and I sort of like pushed myself off the desk to get back. I'm not sure if I'm describing what I did.
What do you have, a chair with wheels?
Yeah. So I was pushing back, and like as I was sitting down, like part of my testicle, like I sat on it a little bit, like I pinched some of my ball there, and I don't even have like big balls, Mike. So I'm like, holy shit, that fucking hurt.
Ouch.
So I had a bit of a stomach ache before we started, Mike. I just wanted you to know.
You gotta take a couple minutes out for that one.
Yeah, dude, I need to take a little breather.
That's like taking a pliers to your bag and just pinching it.
It sucked. It sucked. I didn't know what happened. I thought somebody punched me.
Oh, so what do you wear, boxers or briefs?
So I had boxers on today. I mean, I
Oh,
won't do that again. Learn my lesson.
you better start wearing like a cup. Or
That was the first
something.
time that's ever happened, too.
Hey man, there's a first time for everything.
Holy
right?
shit.
Oh lordy.
My God.
Well,
Yeah.
in answer to your question.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
In answer to your question, I've never wore boxer shorts. I've always worn briefs. There was a point in time where I didn't wear underwear at all.
Oh, man. Free balling.
Yeah.
Living wild there.
Yeah. But I
Wow.
tend to wear briefs.
Yeah, it's better to wear something there, you know?
And you know why I wear briefs?
Because you're being safe.
I'm
You don't want to sit on your balls.
Exactly. I was gonna say, because I don't want to sit on my balls if I'm wearing
Oh, my God.
if I'm wearing boxers. I never found boxers comfortable. I bought a pair years ago, like probably 25 years ago, and I was just like, oh, these are so uncomfortable. It's like flinging around inside There's nothing.
This is what I heard when I sat on my balls, Mike. It was like that. Just like that.
It's a good thing you didn't hear a pop like a balloon.
Oh my God, imagine if I would have popped my testicle.
No, I couldn't. Oh, brother.
I think your balls are pretty resistant, though.
You think so?
I don't think you can
I don't
actually
know.
pop them by sitting on them.
No, it takes a little bit more effort.
You need
but,
something like like skateboarders, like when they grind down a rail.
Yeah.
I think if they hit their nuts against the rail, yeah, I think you could pop your nut doing that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever get kicked in the nuts?
I've been kicked in the nuts before, but it wasn't purposely done, but it has happened, and it always sucked.
Oh my
Obviously.
God, it's the worst feel. Just you feel like you want to throw up.
That's how I felt earlier.
You know what I want to know? If there's any girl callers out there, if they've ever kicked any girl listeners out there, if they've ever kicked a guy in the nuts. I'd like to know why they did it.
I thought you were going to ask if there are any female callers out there who ever been kicked in their the vag.
Their special parts.
I was going to say the C word, but I'll keep it proper.
Okay. Yeah, no, I wasn't going there. I was simply trying to find out if any women out there have ever kicked a guy in the groin.
I mean,
why they did it.
I've seen a few mixed martial arts fights with women. The women go at it, and I've seen a few women hit each other, a low blow right there in the vag.
Can you do that? Is that legal?
No, it's not legal, but it definitely hurt. I could tell.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure that would probably not feel too good for a woman either.
Yeah, I always wondered about that.
I mean, I'm sure it's not the same feeling that, kicking a guy down there, but
I wouldn't think it would be.
No, no comparison.
Yeah, for a guy, I mean, that is a delicate organ.
Dude, I pinched my nut. Who the fuck does that? I mean, I was so excited to do the show, and I sit down, I push off, get some space here, and as I'm sitting down, just a little bit of that nut there got pinched, man, and that was it. That's all it takes, Mike.
Was it the nut or was it the bag?
Well, I think it was like a little bit of both. A bit of a combination in there. Man, it hurt.
Oh, yikes. How did we get on this conversation?
I don't know, but I love that conversation. Caller, you are live on the air. How can we help you?
Hey, young fella. This is Robert. I heard you guys jawing earlier.
Hey, Robert, have you ever
9/11.
sat on your nuts before?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I have done that.
You got big balls there, caller? Big saggy nuts there on you?
Well, I've got a couple of kids, so I've definitely strung a few along.
Oh, my. Well, I don't got big balls there, caller, but I mean, it was enough to hurt me.
Hey, I was wanting to, you guys were jawing about 9/11.
Yes, sir.
Your partner there was having a hard time
Yes.
dealing with some of those issues. I wanted to ask you guys about something. What do you guys think as far as, what do you think about Trump in the election as far as what's coming? I mean, is this going to be a good thing? Or, I mean, when you look at what's happening as far as when you got Biden to choose from,
oh my!
I mean, it's like the cards have been deliberately thrown. The towel's already thrown in. It's like I mean, it would be foolish to vote in Biden when you've got somebody over here with a sound mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like the election's being deliberately thrown away there.
Yep.
Oh, I hear you.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a supporter of any political party because I think we are leaderless in America. I don't like any of these people that we have. I don't care if you are a Republican, a Democrat, an independent. I'm not impressed with any of these politicians, my friend. That worries me the most. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you 100% because, I mean, I honestly believe Trump is fixing to lead us into a global governance is what I believe is about to happen.
Many people believe that. Many people think there's going to be a great world war ahead.
Well, and I believe that well, I mean, according to cycles, I've heard that same theory, the possibility. I mean, we've got Iran in an uptick right now, and of course, we've been threatening China since the beginning of the year, kind of thing. So, I mean, it could very well be that we go into war. But I think what I'm seeing happening. Do you guys ever read scripture as far as like Revelation 13 and what have you?
We're both not religious, but I could tell you that I've talked to many people who will bring up the Bible and those chapters. And yes, I do talk to a lot of people who have been trying to connect the pieces together in terms of the end times. Yes, I'm familiar. Go ahead.
This is what I think the possibility of, and you guys just have to pray about this. But the Bible in Revelation chapter 13, it talks about two beasts.
Right.
One rises up out of the sea and
One in
one
the
rises
sea.
up out of the earth.
Right.
Okay, this is what I think's happening. We've had a system in place. I believe these beasts are systems, meaning that this beast that's risen up out of the sea, of course, comes up out of a multitude of nations and tongues and people and what have you. This thing's been however long. Today we call them the deep state. We call them Illuminati. We call them, regardless of what we call them, this is a system that's been in place for hundreds of years. There is a new system now that's rising up that the world is about to go under. And this thing is that system that, and what's crazy, when you look in Revelation chapter 17 or 18, you see where 7 kings submit their members to the beast. And when everybody over history have always tried to teach that this 7 heads are the beast that rises up out of the sea, this first beast, that these heads are submitting themselves to the first beast over in 17.
10 horns and 7
reality,
heads, right.
Yes, the 7 heads are actually bowing its head to the second beast. They're submitting their authority to the second beast. As this second beast rises up, it practically engulfs, or for lack of a better word, takes in itself. In other words, you can't, it's like a yin and yang. You might have a light on one side and a darkness on the other, a yin and yang as a symbol, but it's still the same symbol. You've got where, like for example, we know that darkness is dark, pitch dark. Well, the Bible refers as Satan appears as an angel of light, meaning this looks like a really good idea. But it's part of the same system. It's part of it's like a battery. It's got a positive on one side and it's got a negative on the other. The negative is absolutely dark. This is the cabal. These are the pedophilia. This is these things that are in rule that we recognize. Isn't it kind of crazy that now all of a sudden, why? You're talking about a system that's been in place for over hundreds of years of now all of a sudden, why are they being revealed? It ain't because we're intelligent. They've been hid secret societies for 1,800 years, and now all of a sudden they're
Did
being
you say
revealed.
1,800?
Yeah, that's 1,800.
Okay.
But I mean, my point being is look like there's a light being shined. But that light's not revealing. It's because it's being transformed from darkness to light.
And who do you think is shining that light?
Well, it's not Trump. Trump may appear to be a light, right? Because he appears to be exposing. Whether you're looking at QAnon or whoever, all these other ones that are in the background that seem to be, why ain't Hillary Clinton been brought to justice? I mean, I'm just saying, not saying nothing. I'm just saying there appears to be light here. But the reality is it's part of the same deception.
Yeah, beware of the false prophets, that's for sure.
Right.
There
and
you go.
If anything,
See, I didn't want to say it because people be getting all crazy.
I'll say it for you.
No, that's QAnon would be your false prophet to a certain degree, because that's what they practically are doing, prophesying. But I mean, now whether they hit or not, I mean, it's kind of like Nostradamus.
So, caller, let me ask you something really quickly here. Obviously, you are very religious, correct?
I am saved, yes, sir.
Understood.
I give my life to Christ about 35 years ago.
I hear you, and that's admirable. What do you make of politicians who are not Christians who use the Bible and religion to gain function politically?
Well, the Bible talks about people who, whether they use it in hypocrisy or they restrain the truth in unrighteousness.
Right.
Meaning that they have the image, but they deny the power of God.
This guy knows the Bible, by the way,
That is no
Mike.
different than actually a spirit of Antichrist.
I was trying to trip you up, by the way.
Hold on a second. What did you just say, caller? Repeat that.
Yeah, go ahead and tell him again.
I said the scripture talks about those who will have the image, but they'll deny the power. In other words, they're content with having the image of Christianity or a Christ-like image, but they deny the power of God to change. In other words, you're talking about elevating themselves to a place for political power or political gain, using religion to do it.
Okay, so all that being all right, caller. All that being said, rather than us going on and on about the comparison between your beliefs in religion and politics, tell me in one sentence what you feel is happening with our government and why are you, if you're nervous or not about it. Like, just in a simplistic form, just tell me in one sentence or so, or a paragraph, what do you think is happening?
There's a storm coming.
Okay.
At the other end of this thing, there's a new world system coming to power.
Okay.
That's
is that it? May I
be.
respond to that?
Yes.
Okay. So now I understand what you're saying. I do want to bring up the fact that many, 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 many years now, for, oh gosh, probably more than 100 years, maybe more, there have been prophecies told that there's going to be the end of the world, there's going to be a new change, there's going to be this, that, and the other, and they always seem to pick somebody in politics and they call him the Antichrist. And like, for example, when Reagan was in office, the thing with Reagan is they took his name.
Hold on, Mike. Let me use someone else for you there. Instead of using Reagan, let's give someone even more current. And there's a guest that I've had on the program who will be returning very soon by the name of Blue Prophet, who had made the argument on the last show he was on about Jared Kushner being the Antichrist. We'll use that example.
Okay. So there you go. I mean, there are always these references to people being the Antichrist and the person who's going to bring down the system. But yet it never happens.
Right.
It never happens. So what I'm trying to say to you, caller, is that I understand what you're saying and how you feel, that you're concerned, and you should be. This is the most important, in my opinion, the most important election of our lifetime, if not in history, since the Civil War of America. And we have every reason to be nervous, because if, Lord help us, if Joe Biden's party wins, this country is in serious trouble.
President Joe Biden.
No, actually, President Communist Harris, because Biden is not going to make it. Biden is a puppet. Harris is the one they want in office.
Can't agree with you more.
All I'm saying, caller, is I respect your religion. I respect your belief, and that's fine. Whatever you want is fine with me. All I'm saying is that this has been said before. This has been said before for many, many years, and they always seem to pick out a politician. As I was going to say with Reagan, they took his name. He has 3 names: first, middle, and last. They took all 3 names, and they're like, each name had 6 letters in it, so they were like 666. He's the Antichrist. But he was one of the best presidents.
Putin had a scar on his forehead too. So
yeah. And then they call it the mark of the beast. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's you got to be a little bit more realistic in it. These are just people. They're just people. That's all. Yeah, their society might be a little bit more elite than the rest of us. The rest of us lowlives in the world. But let's face it, Donald Trump has done more for this country than the last 4 presidents combined.
Okay, can I lay a scenario out there for you to think about?
Sure.
All right. Now we know that we knew Hillary wasn't going to come in, right? There was no way with the treason and everything else that the Benghazi, everything that was laid on that woman, it would have been foolish for our nation to even consider that woman for president. What does that mean? That means that Trump was a shoo-in, just like he is for this upcoming election, because it would be foolish for our nation to choose Biden. All right, now, look at it this way. All right, and this is the only way I know how to explain this. We have taken, for example, we know you sound to me like you're informed. You sound to me like you've got a grasp of what's going on in the world, what's going on through the government, a little bit of history, because neither one of you flinched when I said Illuminati or cabal or whatever. Okay, so that means to me that Trump is ministering to people who are in the know. He's not ministering to those weirdos out there that think somehow or another Biden's going to be the ticket. He's ministering to the patriots. He's ministering to the right to bear arms. He's ministering to those that are I pledge allegiance to the flag type people, right? But what if his okay, all the fighting and stuff that's taking place on him now is to create the illusion that he's being fought to prevent to taking the office that he's been duly elected. No different than the wrestling match we used to watch in the 70s and 80s.
Based on what he's done, I cannot believe that. I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying. In other words, like the big if. What if he's just a puppet? And I gotta say,
what if he is?
I sincerely doubt it. He is. I really doubt he is. And you know why? I say that because he was never a politician in the first place.
I'm with you there. He come out of nowhere when he got the election, just like Obama did.
Yeah, but Obama was involved in politics. Obama was involved and associated with known terrorists and so on and so forth. Donald Trump is an American man who made his fortune by hard work and, just being a regular guy like
That's
you
debatable.
guys and me.
That's debatable.
That is debatable.
Okay.
Very debatable. But yes, but go ahead. You can believe that.
Consider this, that Trump brought in the red gun laws, right? He was the one that introduced that. He's the one that's brought 5G to the United States. He was determined to be the top in the nations of all the world of 5G and the implications that come with that. I'm not saying nothing good or bad about nothing. I'm just telling you one man's meditation. It's just I believe this is no different than what it's always been. How in the world and God have mercy, but how in the world does this man manage to make himself alive in 4 years?
Trump?
I do what?
Who? Donald Trump? How's he going to be alive in 4 years?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's still alive. They dropped. If you look, there was 3,000 to 4,000 people inside that trade center. But if you look, the capacity of that trade center was 30 to 40,000 people. But we only heard about 3,000 or 4,000 getting killed. I'm just saying the capacity was 30 or 40, so who knows how many people were in that building. And I'm getting sidetracked here. But my point being, all those people were in that sacrifice, for lack of a better word, and yet Trump is still alive 4 years later. How's that possible?
I'm sorry, caller. I'm a little lost. Who are we talking? What are we talking about? What tragedy are we talking about here?
I'm just saying that Trump's still alive.
Yeah.
When Kennedy wasn't able to make it, and
I get your point.
Like I said, the towers were brought down. I'm looking at Pearl Harbor. I mean, we had no idea they were coming, right? I mean, the point being, Trump's still alive. How's that possible if this man is not part of the project.
I don't see that at all.
Yeah, he's alluding to the fact that many believe that we haven't had a real president since JFK. That all these politicians in place are sort of propped up.
Oh,
that they're
okay.
talking heads, in other words.
Okay, forgive me.
I think
didn't
that's
quite
probably a better way. Yeah, that's probably a good way to deal with it. I'm just simply saying that I believe he's part of the illusion. For us, because the whole concept is we think we've got an illusion to vote. Therefore, what is that? What's that saying? Something about as long as they don't know they're an animal or don't know they're in a cage, if they're in a zoo, then they're not in captivity.
Right.
You've got the illusion to vote kind of thing.
Yes. We're giving the
and
illusion of freedom.
Trump is part of the illusion.
Right.
That's correct.
Yeah,
and I believe that
see
Trump is simply, and he's part of the deception.
I don't see that one bit.
Well, I was just calling to give you something to think about.
Love
Oh
that.
no, I respect it. I respect your opinion. I'm just saying I don't see it. I don't see it because again, I can't stress it enough. He was not a politician. I mean, let's face it. Politicians, they are a special breed. And Trump came in. He has overturned everything, and they are so. They got their tail between their legs and they're shaking and just like mad dogs or scared dogs in this case, they're snapping and snarling and growling and biting because they are afraid of him, because they know he's going to overturn the system and make it the way it should be. The slogan, keep America great, make America great again. Look, he knows just as well as every standard average American Joe. The corruption that has taken place in the last, oh my goodness, 30 or 40 years, it's been mad. The Bushes, the Clintons, Obama, they're all corrupt.
The Trumps.
One of them.
Trump is not corrupt either?
Well, look.
Is he Jesus Christ to you too, Mike? Is he the fallen Messiah to you?
Michael, let me be clear. Before Trump got into office, he was just a guy making money. And as a billionaire, I'll tell you goddamn right, if I was a billionaire making his money, I'd be out, grabbing girls the way he was too. I mean, he was a guy. He had no intentions on running for president. I mean, he did back in the late 80s and 90s, but he didn't.
Some people don't even believe that he wants to be running again.
Well, as a matter of fact, he is giving his income. He's doing this for free.
That's right. That is right.
Well, my
so
point
right.
being, he's not ministering to those that have no idea what's happening in the world. There's an economic collapse coming. There's God told me
it's already here.
No, it ain't yet. God told me that the United States and the world was going to be humbled in order for the last world system to come to power. Now, they might be doing it through the means of this coronavirus or whatever, but you realize that the laws that were passed in 9/11 are being authorized now.
That's right.
There's laws that are being passed now that are going to be authorized in whatever this third phase is coming.
And that's the
problem.
problem.
The United States and the world is going to be humbled, and the last world system will come to power. I've been preaching for almost 25 years, and one of the first things within the first year and a half of my salvation, the Lord spoke to me and told me that there was a storm coming. And over the past 25 years, He's explained to me what this means. And I can't even get the church. They're when they hear me, they're God's not giving us a spirit of fear and all this other kind of stuff that they don't want to hear. And God was faithful to tell me in the beginning that what He was trying to explain to me, nobody was going to receive. It's kind of like what He told Jeremiah and Isaiah. They're not going to receive what you say, but you're going to say it anyway. But this is where we're headed. And this, I'm already seeing, as crazy as it is, not that I understand all of it, but the digital currencies coming in.
That's right.
They've already started talking about some kind of digital currency that's linked in with Bill Gates and this nanotechnology, and not that I understand none of that stuff. I'm understanding it more and more as we go. But I'm telling you what and this is more than just simply what I believe. This is what I understand is happening. The United States and the world economies are collapsing.
That's right.
How in the world is the United States still hitting record highs and we're not producing nothing? How's that possible?
I'll tell you why. I think it's because of the fact that we have a very smart businessman in the office. Let's face it, before this pandemic took place, the economy was doing great. For the first time in 60 years.
I'm with you there. I'm totally with you there. We probably have produced the best that we've done in the United States as far as the increase of productivity and finances, and the stock market climbed some 1,500 points and what have you, and then all of a sudden when it stopped and collapsed, it dropped. I can't remember right off now what caused it. This was just a couple years ago. But then now think about this. The entire world, now there has to be a system in place to stop the entire world. That was done with the coronavirus. But a system has to be in place for that to happen.
That's why that's why I believe firmly that China is at fault. China is pissed because America.
I believe you are correct there. I believe you're probably correct there.
I don't believe it's all in China, though. I think that America had a big part to do with it.
It actually came
Michael,
from
but that was before Trump was even in office. That was with Obama's administration.
Yeah, but we're talking about now. We're not talking about Obama's administration. We're talking about the present time.
All right, so the present time. So I think, and I think you might agree with me, that China is so pissed off at us because of what's been happening.
But we also allow them in America. They also have taken up all kinds of resources here in America. And the narrative right now is being pushed that it's solely the CCP virus, but no, it's much more complicated than that. We had worked on the virus too at Fort Detrick at a
here
biolab.
In North Carolina.
That's right, a bioweapons lab.
Come out of a lab here in North Carolina.
Exactly.
Not hardly an hour from here.
Yeah, so I mean, every time we see this narrative of, well, it's straight out China's fault. Well, I mean, we did have some hand in that too, unfortunately. And that's what the mainstream media is not talking about to anybody.
No, that guy, the guy that was arrested over here at the college out here in North Carolina.
The professor, right?
He was arrested, and then they arrested two of the, what do you call them, interns that came from China. That was part of this university over here. That had something to do with the manipulation of this virus.
And knowing this, knowing the fact that the government lies to you and me constantly, I have difficulty finding anybody that belongs to a political party who's actually going to tell me the truth.
And it is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because that's the president that we have now. A lot of people they put him over because of his transparency and him being honest and telling the truth. But right now he's going to get attacked viciously, and he still is getting viciously attacked over his handling, his administration's handling of the coronavirus.
Oh, come on! He did more for this coronavirus, for this disease than what what did Biden do?
We'll be playing. Well, we have Trump in office, not Biden, by the way, Mike. And we'll be playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you forget? Biden isn't in office. We're talking about Donald here.
I'm just trying to make a comparison. When the swine flu broke out, when they were in office, what the hell did they do? It's funny because Biden's going around talking all this crap about him being president and how he's blaming Donald Trump for the death of these people for 200, according to Joe Biden.
And we're going to be
200
playing
million.
that audio in a moment here. Yes, the 60 minutes, the interview with Bob Woodward, and we will be discussing that in a moment here. And yeah, but you can see why they're saying that though, right, Mike?
No, I can't. I really
because
can't.
they had prior information and they didn't say anything. Trump's administration played it down in his own words.
Yep. Yep.
Am I line caller?
No, you're
That's
right.
correct.
But
You can't have it
point
both
is,
ways. No, you can't have it both ways, fucker. You can't have it both ways. Fuck you. It doesn't
Well,
work
look,
that
guys,
way. It doesn't work that way.
Look, you sometime or another, guys, you can go over to my YouTube. I've got videos out explaining what this coming storm is. I've also got songs. See, I write gospel music.
Oh shit.
This is just simply part of the ministry that God's called me to. But my point is, this storm can be established in my conversation over 7 years ago. What we're seeing happen. Matter of fact, I talked about a sequester. God told me that the government. Well, let me rephrase that. He said, when the government goes to sequester, so will the children of God. For the body of Christ, he was talking about draw into your prayer closet. See, I had no idea the virus was coming. This was back in 2017. He said when the government sequesters, what that means, they're going to take 401s, they're going to take pensions, they're going to take your savings, all this, whatever it takes in order for them to cut out those portions of the budget in order to meet the budget, a sequester. That's what it's called, a sequester. The Lord told me when the government sequesters, so will the children of God. And ironically enough, they've not sequestered yet. They've just locked us down. But that's part of what this sequester is. People this is a time that people are probably seeking their fellowship and their true relationship with God is making sure it's sincere. They're making sure that their election and their calling is clear. Are they really saved?
Mike,
you know
you need Jesus in your life, Mike. I think that's what the caller's saying.
Well, no. All I was saying, go look at my webpage. No, I'm sorry, my YouTube. I'm establishing this conversation that I'm telling you that a storm is coming, that our world economies are collapsing, and that there is a new system coming to power. These are things I've talked about for the past 7 years, at least 7 years. But God's been dealing with me some almost 30 years.
Oh, my. Well, caller, I hate to do this, but we'll have to move along here in a moment. Yes, and we have to take another call here. And looking at another comment here from Hermetic Heretic, who says, yep, Trump is no different. Red plus blue, royal purple. Yes, I see that. And then, of course, I see another comment talking about Jeffrey Epstein introducing his wife, Melania, to Trump there. Jeffrey Epstein, everyone's favorite. Caller, once again, thank you so much for calling in. I will.
Man, y'all have fun.
Yeah, I'll take you all with a shotgun blast.
Be blessed.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Shoot twice for you there. There he goes. Thank you for that call. And oh my God, Skype is going off with another lovable call there, Mike. And let's take this call. Caller, what's up? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can
hello,
you hear me?
hello.
Hello?
Hello, hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can hear me? All right. So I was just calling in. I've been listening tonight. I tuned in a little late.
I apologize, by the way. I've been... this hasn't been a very good outing for me, you know, with the nuts being hurt and all.
Oh, it sounds horrible.
It was very bad, and you know, I feel very sad still. My testicles might not be the same after tonight.
So sad to hear. So the reason I was calling was I wanted to ask Mike about, since he's a Satanist, I'd like to ask him his beliefs and why he believes in that. And I was just interested. And
No
the
problem.
other question was also about Satanism and Luciferianism.
Well, hold on there,
Different.
caller. Don't go crazy. We'll take it one at a time. Mike, yeah, go ahead. Answer the very first question there. Why do you believe what you do?
Okay. Wow. 'Cause it's cool? No. I think uh, I think what attracted me to it is there are certain rules that you're supposed to live by, a certain moral ethic, and that moral ethic is to take responsibility for your own actions. Um, and that's I got to be honest, that was like the main thing that really caught my attention.
And ironically, the government does none of that.
All right, point taken. But
Rack me.
for me, that's all. I mean, I was born and raised a Roman Catholic. I was like that. I was a practicing Roman Catholic until I was 13 years old. At age 13, I began to question my religion. I at the same time, I was studying and trying to understand my religion. I read the Bible. I would ask a lot of questions to my parents. I went to a Catholic school. I asked a lot of questions about the devil and Lucifer, and then I ended up getting kicked out. My parents would get called to school all the time there, brother, what was his name? Brother Joe.
Brother Joe.
No, Brother Paul.
Brother Paul.
Brother Paul would say to my parents, "Yeah, I think your son is. I think he's worshiping the devil."
Oh my God.
So I mean, and I wasn't. I was just curious. I had a lot of questions. There were so many things that were contradictive in the Bible. So I began to ask questions.
Wait, you're getting nervous, man.
Hey, come on, man, come on.
Come on, Joe.
So, in a nutshell, caller, I just basically found also the morals of not killing animals, not hurting others, not hurting people. Sort of like, almost like do unto others like you would do unto yourself.
So, in other words, you're like a Buddhist now.
You
might
I
have
never really
converted.
thought about it, Michael, but
I don't think
there might even be some comparisons to that.
I don't think you're a Satanist, Mike. I think you're a Buddhist.
Don't Satanists sacrifice animals?
Well, that's what I just said. They don't do that. There are people that have, I guess, possibly done that both now and in the past. As a matter of fact, I remember buying a book on Satanism about, I forget the author's name, but he talked about how he would sacrifice pigeons, and I am completely 100% against that. I will not hurt anything. I don't even kill spiders in my house. Like ants, nothing. Well, that's a lie. Actually, the only thing I do kill are mosquitoes. If a mosquito lands on me and sucks my blood, it dies.
It's over.
It's over. But anything else, like I'll capture it, I put it out. I love animals more than you can possibly imagine. I have no ill manner to anybody, like that caller who just called. He believes in God, and that's fine. That's his opinion.
He was a lovely man.
Now,
he was a nice guy, and religion is supposed to be, with the exception of Islam, it's supposed to be a religion that teaches you how to be a decent person to your fellow man, to your brother man and or woman, and treat people with respect and honor and honesty and loyalty. And if you look, I'll be honest, I stopped believing in God a long time ago, but the fact is I still have morals, and my morals are to be a good person. And just like the gentleman who called before, he believes in God. I'm sure it must make him feel like a good person. He probably wouldn't do crime or hurt people. Then again, I don't know him that well. All I'm saying is that bottom line is the Bible was a collection of stories to teach people how to be humane to one another.
All the things that you're saying, Mike, that's exactly how I feel about government.
Explain.
Well, everything you're saying, just put government in front of it.
You think so?
For me personally, yeah. They sell you lies like different religions do.
Yeah, but you also got to remember when the Holy Roman when Rome became the Holy Roman Empire.
I see religion and politics the exact same way.
They were very close together.
They all like
You
to
know,
lie,
They were very close together for a very long time.
like a lawyer.
And there was, in fact,
and
I'm
they
reading a
all
book
want
right
you to-
now about Mary Magdalene.
Who lies
and-
the best is my opinion.
Good question.
They all
Who
want you to
wins?
take a side.
They all want you to pick a side. They all want you to give them money, just like Jesus Christ did. Got to pay
Yeah,
that
but
tax.
No. Jesus Christ, if Jesus did,
He wants that tax money, baby. He's got to get that 10%. He's got to make him living
No,
somehow.
I'm
Gotta pay
reading
tax.
a book right now.
Yeah, he's got to
one
pay
of my
taxes. He lives in California.
greatest- if I may
Jesus
just
Christ,
say,
Jesus Christ Emmanuel. He's Hispanic.
I are you gonna let me speak? Damn it! I've been reading books about Jesus for many, many years, and I read books about whether or not he was actually crucified, the whole issue of the Priory Sion, the Knights Templar, whether or not Jesus and his Mary Magdalene actually had a daughter, Sophia, who carried on the bloodline. I mean, I'm reading a book right now about Mary Magdalene. Religion fascinates me, particularly the Roman Catholic religion.
Yeah,
So-
sure, the Romans made it up for you.
That's right.
They made that great writing like they did Star Wars, a great story to tell you.
And yet Jesus was a Jew.
And Jesus was a Jew, and so was Hitler. And look how that turned out.
Part Jew. It was part Jew.
All this discussion, I'm not even religious, and I feel crucified right now. By the way, I want to apologize ahead of time for my vile and vituperative language, by the way. Just a warning.
Really?
Well, I wanted to tell Michael I wasn't calling in to try to put him on a spot or try to say anything negative about
You could
him.
say
I was
anything
just
negative you
interested.
want, though. That's what we want.
No, the whole thing with me is I'm interested in his views, and that's why I had called, and because I've heard him say that, a few different times, and I was just interested, and I enjoyed listening to both of you. And
Some guys like to,
thing,
some guys like to collect stamps. Some guys like to paint their nails. Some people like to be a Jew. Some people like to be a Christian. Whatever floats your boat.
Did I answer your question, caller?
The last thing I want to ask you about is if you guys had seen the memorial to RGB last year that was done. I think it was through a musical,
I didn't see that.
there was
RGB?
they had a memorial. It was a year ago, and it was for Ralph Gator Ginsburg, or whatever her name is. And they literally, it looked like a memorial, and it was for like the New York arts. It was like a symphony, and they had this little, it was like an hour-long memorial to her, and it was over a year ago, and it literally looked like a memorial, and everybody had said she had died, and anyways, I just didn't know if you guys had seen that at all. I'd like to hear about that.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
didn't
sorry
hear about
about that.
either.
Well, I'll have to send the link to you, Michael,
Yeah, do that.
Definitely.
and I just wanted to thank both of you guys for your time tonight, and everybody go out and buy Mr. Hideous's artwork. Go
Thank
to
you.
his website.
Right on. Do you want me to take you out with a car crash or a toilet flush, a shotgun blast? What do you got in mind?
Ooh, shotgun blast sounds great.
Shotgun blast. We'll take you out there. Thanks so much, caller.
Thank you,
Antifa, baby.
Antifa.
Antifa shotgun blast.
Oh, you got it. Thanks so much, caller. Take care.
Have a good night.
You too, brother. And there he goes. And yes, let's get that in there for him. I think he wanted more than that. I think he was very angry, so there he goes.
There he
Thanks
goes.
for that
All
call. And yes, Mike, that was a great call. And we still have some audio to play here before we wrap it up, Mike.
Yeah.
We got that to do, and I hear the bird.
Yeah, you can hear that?
I could hear the little guy.
Yeah, he's just chatting away.
He's talking to what's he talking about back there?
He's just doing bird noises.
Oh, I thought he was actually trying to communicate with us.
Now he's communicating with me. He can't hear you. I got the headphones on.
Oh, that bastard.
But he hears me when I get excited, so he makes these noises.
Love that. So, Mike, since we are coming close to October, I did want to mention this quick story to you. I feel, man, I'm having all these little stories come up in my mind here for you tonight, Mike.
All right.
But yes, did I ever tell you the time I sliced my finger open around late October?
No.
Yeah, I was running late to do this show, and I know that's hard to believe. I was being fashionably late, but rushing nonetheless, Mike. And, I'm trying to untangle cords. There's also some hardware next to me, a compressor of sorts. And Mike, with any external hardware, there's that optional rack-mounted edges that are sharp. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I ran my finger by it, and I didn't realize it at the time. The sharp edge there, Mike.
What happened? What'd you do?
Well, I'm standing over my former mixing board, and I'm untangling the wires, and I'm bleeding all over the mixer.
Oh, nice.
My blood is covering one of the sliders. It was white before, and by the end of the untangling, it was crimson red, Mike.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, though, because my blood was all over the place. It fit very well for the Halloween theme. Speaking of which, we are now near the anniversary of the program. The show officially launched October 31st, and the first episode was actually on November 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You got it. As of today, that would mean it's been, 1,417 days, or 202 weeks.
How the hell did you figure that out?
3 years, 10 months.
You write that down.
No, I partially knew, but partially prepared.
Ah, there you go.
But then again, I partially cheated. I sort of knew that about 2 months ago, though.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if you pulled that out of your ass, you were pretty damn smart.
I remembered it, though. That's the part that I did pull out of my ass. I fancy being...
After you stepped on your nuts.
That's right. I fancy being perspicacious when I can be, Mike. When I'm not sitting on my nuts.
There you go.
There we go.
I have an anniversary coming up on Halloween, too.
Really?
Yeah, well, not as important as this, but I mean, when after the whole Misfits thing ended in '98, shortly after, because it ended in the beginning of August 1998, and then in October, I released 2 CDs, Victim Destroys Assailant, and the live album, I'm Dead, You're Dead, We're All Dead Live. So they were both released on Halloween.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not a big thing.
By the way, Mike, one of the last times we talked to you, you were mentioning some sort of group you were going to be doing a tour with of sorts.
Oh, yeah.
What happened with them?
You know what, Michael? With all due respect, I really can't even.
It just fell apart. It just fell apart.
No, I can't even comment it right now. There's something happening there's something currently happening.
Oh shit! Okay.
That I just can't. I can't talk about it just yet.
Oh, I understand.
No offense.
No, it's fine. Shit happens.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it happens, but there are some complications that just recently took place.
Well, I mean, there's a pandemic.
That too.
That's gonna cause some issues for you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a rough time right now.
Yeah, even Empire Hideous. We were asked to go at the beginning of, oh my gosh, I think February or March. Late February, early March. We were asked to go on tour to South America and a short tour in Europe. And then, of course, the pandemic hit, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going out of the country right now. There's no possible way."
Yeah, so you are definitely angry over the current situation, and understandably. And there's another person out there who's feeling the rage. Let's hear that clip.
You guys, I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died.
Oh my God.
Could this year get any Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021.
That was real, by the way.
What a maniac.
Can you imagine waking up next to that?
Hell no. Could you imagine being married to that for the rest of your life? God.
You guys! I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Ah! Could this year get any worse? Ruth! You just had to make it to 2021!
Love that.
Classic. So don't ever get rid of that sample.
So she's taking it pretty hard, Mike. Devastating, right? Well, that's what happens when you get old. People die.
Oh God. Oh man, you're killing me tonight.
You know, death has never stopped and it never will, Mike.
That's right.
That's
But
life.
to scream over it, I mean, come on.
Yeah, she's insane.
Obviously, like those other crackpots that had to sit there and scream in front of the White House.
Oh boy. Mike, before we play audio here, we do have another call.
All right.
Let's go with the caller here. Caller, what's going on?
Not much. How are you guys?
I can't complain, except, stuff there.
I can complain.
All right, we can always complain, huh?
Yeah, caller, go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I was listening to your program, guys, and I was pretty impressed. And probably know.
What is what impresses you? Well, hold on there. What impresses you?
The level of inquiry, the adaptation, the.
I didn't mean to sound angry, by the way. I sounded kind of mad there. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Triggered. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to sound that way. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm a little excited for the call. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just curious why you thought that, why you liked it. Do I entertain you?
Do I make you laugh?
Am I a clown to you? Is that it?
No. I don't do entertainment.
Well, I mean, I personally thought I was entertaining you. I mean, I thought the show was entertaining.
In that sense, yes. I appreciate the warm welcome to the show, guys.
Caller, relax. Calm down, caller. Goddamn. It's just us. Relax. It's okay.
Yeah, come on, man. It's
just,
cool.
Right, it's just me and you.
All right, take two. All right. Action.
Yes. Caller, how are you? Go ahead.
All right.
Very nice. Are you enjoying tonight's program?
Absolutely.
Very nice. And how are you this evening? Are you coronavirus free? Have you sat on your nuts before?
Well, I've learned about Dr. Stefan Lanka from Germany, virologist, who is a whistleblower and has dismantled the theory of the virus and is suing the German government for crimes against humanity.
Oh shit!
So it's a mind virus at this point.
So you think it's a psychological operation, in other words?
Absolutely.
So you don't think there is a virus?
No, apart from your regular flu, and then all the stress that's caused, and psychosomatic symptoms. Basically.
Are you saying it's the 5G?
It's all part and parcel. Because if you actually look at the definition of the word virus, originally it had to do with toxicology. So it had to do with poisons and the detoxing of the body in spring, which is basically aka flu season. So yes, you have radiological toxicity, you have quote unquote chemtrails, bad food, GMOs, etc. All that combined gets everybody's bodies at a very high toxicity level, and they're just trying to deal with it. Plus, they're trying to do God knows what kind of thing with those vaccines, And I'm not an anti-vaxxer or anything like
that. I hear you. I know.
I just don't trust, Billy Goats over there.
Oh well, I don't blame you for feeling the way that you do. Um, Having to listen to Bill Gates as much as we did the past couple months here, if you did any due diligence, you'll find out right away. Neither Bill nor Melinda Gates has a license to practice medicine.
Correct. In fact, they're probably allegedly violating all sorts of legal regulations.
Matter of fact, caller, Bill Gates does not have not one college degree.
No kidding?
Was he a high school dropout, right? Or, I mean, a college dropout?
I'm not sure if he was a college dropout, but I know he doesn't have a college degree, and he's done quite well for himself.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
Melinda actually has a degree, though, in computer science and economics, if I recall correctly.
Well, I'm sure he has an honorary degree of eugenics from his father.
Yeah, it's interesting. Everyone seems to be into eugenics. You know, people that are quite shady. Hitler, Jeffrey Epstein.
Really?
Bill Gates.
Yeah.
You know, anyone who talks about being genetically superior and all this shit, I just go back to Hitler and Jeffrey Epstein right away.
I didn't realize Jeffrey was into that kind of stuff. Of course, he was more of a...
He's very much into eugenics.
Really?
That's what he was up to in his ranch out there in New Mexico.
And quote unquote, or was it when they help other people, I forget the term, like charity work, what do you call that?
Charity work?
Yeah, you know how they help out humanity. There's a specific term for that. Entropy or something, anthropological work for...
Anthropologist? Anthropology?
No, like going to Africa, giving vaccines.
Like what the hell they call it? Crap on a stick. I know what you're talking about. I know a guy who did that. I was going to say the Foreign Legion, but that's not it.
All right. Well, thank you, caller.
Well, no, I have something very important regarding the scriptures.
Oh, you got more. Okay. You're going to take us down that road.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I will be paraphrasing a man whom I've spoken to about a year ago. I'll make it short. I've already taken all the notes. He used to go as Mr. Anonymous, and we contacted him through the Mojave Desert phone, line number 6. And he mentioned something regarding basically what's coming down is the fact that there's going to be a 100-year period of like pure evil, and it's, I think, started since September the 11th of 2001, and there's going to be a lot of different things coming down.
I hope so.
We shall see.
Right?
I hope a lot of things happen.
Okay, so the first thing he mentioned was okay.
He's got notes. He prepared, Mike. He took notes.
Right on. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
I got the Thompson Chain Reference Bible, the Red Letter Edition. Okay, so he mentioned the very first thing was...
sorry to brought you to church, by the way, Mike.
And that would be...
Come on, caller.
Yes, the Church of Philadelphia.
Come on, caller. You gotta keep it tight here, short and sweet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the Church of this would be Revelations 3:7. Let's see here, right? To the angel of the church in Philadelphia, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What opens no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. So basically, it goes all the way down talking about the line of David, which the gentleman who I'm talking to says he is from. And then this is the kicker, right? And that'll be Revelations 9:11, right? I but you're not, right? They had
Call
a
the
king
press,
over
Mike.
them. Pardon me?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
All
ahead.
right. Okay. Yes, the two witnesses. I was given a reed like a measuring rod and was told, go and measure the temple of God and the altar and count the worshippers there, but exclude the outer court. Do not measure it because it has been given to the Gentiles. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months, and I will give power to my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days. It's basically the iron rod, which is going to be an iron rod of justice. A lot of blood.
Caller, you're killing me here.
No, this is what he had.
I know, but caller, you're just boring me to death here.
All right. Well,
I got to be honest.
How about if we hear it from the man himself? I got the clip ready. This time. I forgot.
Mike, this guy's annoying me.
And go.
Well, I'm a Judah is what I am. And you can think I'm crazy, think I'm wrong, but you remember me telling you that before, right? Yeah. Is the letter to the...
Yeah, I'm going to hang up on this guy.
I'm not sure I know where he was going with that. Did you follow that?
It was just not a good listen.
I couldn't. I'm sorry. I couldn't follow. I didn't quite understand what the point was.
It's got to be entertaining. That just was not entertaining.
No.
At all.
Sorry, caller.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Try again next time.
Yeah, like, got to move along a little bit quicker.
Got to bring it tight. We appreciate it raw and hard here.
Yeah, no offense.
Yeah, no offense. We just got to keep it moving. Now, caller, go ahead. You are live on the air. What's up?
All right. Can I just switch that clip real quick? Or
Oh, caller, you're just killing me here.
Real quick, I swear to God.
Caller, no, I'm sorry. I hope you catch what's going around. Caller, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What's happening? Don't piss me off, please.
Stop, but those last two callers sure pissed me off. What the fuck was that?
I don't know, my friend. It was awful. I mean, I just wanted to bring out the shotgun and just lay waste to all of them like if I was in Columbine.
Yeah, blast those fools out the door and don't let them back. That was some dribble.
That was awful. Talk about horrible radio. I thought I was listening to morning zoo bullshit again. Listening to the guy calling at the wrong time.
And who reads scripture on the air? That's like nails on a chalkboard.
I don't know. I mean, I can only handle it for a few minutes here, but we got to keep it tight, you know. And I'm not saying you, but you know, when someone calls in, you gotta keep it raw here and entertaining at times.
Get to the point.
That too. Wrap it up.
Get to the point. What the hell was that shit?
It was.
Hey, anyway, Mike, who do you root for? Rams, Chargers, Raiders? What's your deal?
To be honest with you, I just love the game. I know it's a political. I know it's a political answer, but I grew up playing football, so anytime, you know, I watch the game, I just automatically go back to just playing the game and enjoying it, and seeing how much fun grown men are enjoying themselves playing with balls.
Playing with balls, and you know what? I hope they all rot for what they're doing, associating themselves with rapists.
Oh my! But yes, I don't have a specific team, but I just enjoy the game, my friend. I'll watch almost any team except the Cleveland Browns because they stink on ice.
And they always will. That's just their thing.
That's the awful team right there.
Clouded.
I feel bad if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, that's for sure.
Oh, well, I mean, sucks to be you, right?
That's right. Go ahead.
So, what was I going to say? How did you end up hooking up with Fetzer? How did you get him on your program?
I asked.
You asked.
That simple.
Amazing the things that come to you when you ask, right?
Well, sometimes they do come to me.
Well, I mean, just in general, it's amazing what you can get when you ask for it.
Exactly. I mean, you'd be surprised, right?
You would. Well, I'm fucking surprised.
All you got to do is ask.
I'm asking Robert Lazar to get on your show.
You mean Bob Lazar?
Yeah, Bob Lazar.
But I know what you meant. But I don't know, to be honest. I know people that do know him, though. I just don't like asking.
People that know him.
Yeah, I just don't like asking for contact information from others. I never liked it. I always thought it was tacky. I get hit up all the time for other contacts, though, but I don't do that.
It's amazing what you get, though, when you ask for it, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'd give it a go.
Yeah.
I mean,
the worst the worst that could happen is him saying no.
That's right. I mean, you got Lear on there, so that's.
I haven't talked to John in a while.
Yeah, that'd be another good show. Is he still kicking?
He's still around. He's still, he's out there in Nevada.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I'll bring him back on.
Hey,
I'll bother him.
I got to ask Mr. Hideous something. What's your opinion of Professor Fetzer there, Mike?
The freight train.
The freight train. Because I noticed that you're not on the program when he's on there anymore.
Truth be told, I don't even need to be. I mean, the guy he could talk enough for all three of us.
Yeah, he's talking for Mike.
I understand.
He's talking for Mike.
I mean, I got nothing against the guy. He's a wonderful guy. Whenever we talk off the air and just, shoot the shit, he's a great guy. But, when he is on, and for, just so you know, I mean, it's Michael's call. It's not my call to be on the show. If Michael wants me on, I come on as the co-host. But
I try to save Mike at times, to be honest.
Yeah, Michael looks out for me, and he doesn't have me on the show.
I'm not trying to give him a headache.
Keep talking.
Yes, I'm not trying to give the man a headache here. That's all.
But what do I think of Fetzer? I think without being obnoxious, and I'm not trying to put the guy down, but some of the things that he says, I have a little, I have some problems accepting. I mean, He seems to think that almost everything is a conspiracy, and I don't know. I just don't think that is the case.
I understand that answer, because everything in his book is a conspiracy. There's not one that isn't a conspiracy. Like, I don't know. Are they all really conspiracies?
It's like, the Kennedy assassination, conspiracy, walking on the moon, conspiracy, Columbine,
not
conspiracy.
Just that. It's just even the smaller ones.
Actually, I think he's on board with Columbine.
I meant to say the one in Connecticut, Sandy
Hook, but he's getting sued for that.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, some of the things he says, I don't necessarily.
You're not fully on board. Yeah.
Yeah, respectfully. And if that's what he chooses to believe, then I can't change that.
Sure. Can I ask your opinion of what you think of 9/11?
By the way, caller, let me give you a word of advice. Whenever you call a show, don't ever ask that question that way. Just ask it. It's okay. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Don't ever say, "Oh, can I ask?" No, go ahead.
It just slips off the tongue like that.
Throw those balls around, boy. Throw those balls. Don't worry.
It's okay. What's the question?
So, Mike, can I say?
You're doing it again, caller. You're pissing me off. Don't say that. Don't do that.
All right. So, Mr. Hideous, what is your opinion of the 9/11 conspiracy?
Well, truth be told, caller, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the show when Michael and I were talking about it, but I'm still on the fence as to whether or not it was actually an inside job. Now, Michael and I have spoken about this both on the air and off the air. And he understands, like, based on the interviews that we've done on this show, based on what Michael and I have talked about, based on the conspiracy theorists that I've seen on YouTube and on the internet, I will admit there are some major questions that I have. that I haven't gotten a rightfully, what's the word I'm looking for, a decent answer for. But I think it's one of the one things that I'm as I mentioned earlier, I'm teetering on the fence. I don't know whether or not to believe.
Well, say you fall off the fence, right? What side are you going to fall off on?
See, I don't know. I really, I don't. The last thing I want to believe is that our government killed people, innocent people. I just don't want to believe it, and that's why it's so hard for me to accept it being an inside job.
So you don't want to believe it happened, or?
I choose, at this point, I choose not to, only because dude, 3,000 people died. To think that our government killed them it's an atrocity. I don't want to think that. If it's true, I need as much evidence as possible to make me believe that it really was an inside job. Till then, I can only speculate on what. I mean, it's the simple answer is I just don't have an answer.
I mean, the nail in the coffin for me was Building 7 and the Pentagon.
Right. That's crazy, right? I mean, I saw that it just went plop. How did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. And then you see that English reporter standing in the background. She's saying that the World Trade Center 7 has dropped, but it's standing right behind her. And so she's obviously following a script. And if there's a script, then this is all an act. This is all a show that they jumped the gun on. And then why don't they just show us one fucking video of a plane going into the Pentagon? Just show us one when there's 1,000 cameras in the area, the most protected building in the country. Show us one video of this happening, and I'll believe you. But you don't.
That's right.
I just don't understand how you cannot believe that our own government had any hand in it, Mike, when in fact that you do take for consideration that false flags do happen, Mike.
You're right.
All throughout history.
And I will agree with both of you. The whole Pentagon thing, that's a big question mark. Why can't we see that footage?
But you also agree
when
that
when you look at the impact,
sure,
it doesn't even look like a plane hit it.
But Mike, you agree that we got into a war with Iraq under false pretenses. You believe that, but you don't believe that our government had any hand in this, correct?
Once again, Michael, I refuse to answer that question. No, I just don't. I don't have an answer for you, man. I'm still. It's very difficult for me to accept.
Is it hard to believe, Mike, that the FBI now admits that back in 2001 they actually carried out the anthrax attacks?
I didn't even know that.
They did.
I didn't even know that. I'm sorry. I'm just uneducated on that.
It happens.
I believe it. Yeah,
but
some
I mean,
crazy things that happen.
Gotta look throughout history. Long
with
list of
with those unanswered questions that you have.
Long list of false flags.
Kind of persuade you?
What's that, caller?
So with those unanswered questions that you have, that you can't believe that they don't show us something with the Pentagon, you can't believe with Building 7. Doesn't that kind of push you over the fence that we were complicit, if not fully complicit, in this whole atrocity?
It doesn't push me over the fence. It only adds to the giant question mark over my head as to what the hell happened. What is going on? Why did that happen the way it did? Does that make sense? Can you follow me on that?
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I can wrap around that. But
I'm just
what
confused.
They said happened is that a gigantic plane hit the Pentagon when that clearly didn't happen. So right there is a lie. And why are they lying? So they can cover their ass. When you tell a lie, you're trying to cover up something, and it's just kind of night and day for me. Either you tell the truth or you tell the lie. There's no in between.
And you know what? I'm not disagreeing with you, or Michael. I'm just so difficult for me to completely and thoroughly grasp. In time, I may completely see it for what it is. As you guys see it the way you do. But right now, I have been trying so hard to really accept this so-called conspiracy. I'm still trying to accept it.
In other words, you bow to the government then in the narrative.
I don't know if I could say that, Michael.
Oh, it sounds like you do.
All right, well,
I think you do.
I don't
It's
know
okay
if
to
I'd
admit
bow to
that.
the
No
government.
worries. You
Because
you
look, I
just
was
go
the
with
first
it.
to stand up and say, "Yeah, I'm
It's okay.
sorry."
I'm just saying you could go ahead and say it. You know, you believe with what the government told us.
I don't, because when Bush was in office, I hated that guy. I couldn't stand him. I thought he was an idiot. And the fact that we went to war with those countries in the Middle East, we had no reason. That's part of the reason why we've been in such a shithole for the last 20 years.
Even longer, Mike.
Even longer.
Goes way further back.
Look, man, you know what ultimately what I want. I can't even stand politics because it drives me crazy. I'd like to live out in a friggin' cabin somewhere in the woods, away from all of this crap, because it's so complicated. Every little thing that takes place in government and society, it's all this nonsense and bullshit. It's all about money.
I second that.
So, like I said, I may see the light someday. And doing this show with Michael, I'm lucky enough that I get to hear some of the great interviews with some of really fascinating people, like what's his name, Masters,
Marshall Masters.
Marshall Masters, and just great people that really open your eyes and make you think. But I guess I'm in denial, is what you could probably say.
I can respect that. This isn't a disrespectful question, but is it more of a ignorance is bliss kind of deal?
Probably. Probably.
Well, here goes back to the issue, as I was saying. This goes back to the issue, as I was trying to allude to before. We want to go with just how we feel instead of the facts.
Right.
And the facts are, the CIA has admitted that they even hired Iranians back in the 1950s to pose as communists to stage bombings in Iran.
That's just messed up.
I'm telling you, I mean, this goes back a long, long time, my friend.
I agree. I totally agree with you on that. I really do.
With all these things going on, it's just hard to believe anything that the government tells us. I mean, at one time they were pushing cigarettes at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, politicians and industry leaders, they purposely misled the public over the health effects of smoking. And today we still have people that believe nothing will happen to you if you smoke.
And then when it does, they sue the tobacco companies.
Sure. So.
And not to change the subject,
Mr.
hurts. Decon, but are you from El Centro? Is that home base for you?
Born and raised.
Okay, so that's why you're there.
I love it here.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, home is home, brother. I get it.
Well, do you think I would want to be around a bunch of people?
I don't know. Maybe you met somebody, you moved out there, and that's where you are now.
No, if anything, they have to come out here, away from the social dregs of society, the potential menaces that are out there. Much safer out here, away from the animals.
That's how I feel, Michael, living out here.
That's how I feel here.
But
I feel good.
If you ever saw my place, I mean, I'm in the woods, man.
Yeah, that guy Mike's way out there in the woods.
We don't even have street lights.
That's wild.
That's awesome.
That is pretty cool, though.
It is. All right, Mike and Mike, always a pleasure talking to you guys. You take care of yourselves, huh?
All right, brother. I'll take you out with a shotgun blast here for you.
Blast me.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, bro.
I shot the poor guy.
Yep, and I think he enjoyed it too.
I think he did too, Mike. And Mike, we're going to have to wrap it up pretty soon here. I mean, I did want to go over that audio with you, but, well, you know what? It's only a few minutes long.
What is it? The one with Bob Woodward?
Yeah, let's just play some of that.
Yeah.
I'll just stop it right there and get your opinion.
I agree with the president.
So he didn't want anyone to panic.
I'll tell you why. Based on some of the things that I've understood about government, is that when you are a leader of a country of what are we, 30 million people, it is important not to create panic, so that people look.
So you rather have them lie about the severity of the virus, in other words, right?
I probably, if I were the president, I probably would have done the same thing.
You would have lied too.
Hang on.
Oh, so shit, all kinds of liars are coming out. Holy fuck.
Hang on, let me explain.
I'm just saying. It's funny to hear. It's funny to hear everyone's opinion on this, because so many people have been saying, well, we love Donald Trump because he's transparent and he tells the truth. He tells it how it is. But no, I've been hearing it all. I've been hearing it for years.
And you know what? You're right.
And what happened?
Was you're talking to?
And what happened? But then, Mike, you have to understand. I've been talking to lots of people who have been telling me we need an open sourced government. We need them to tell us the truth. This is why we love this guy, because he's going to tell us the truth.
Yes.
And now
you're
you're saying it's okay to lie to the American people, right?
Yeah, but I never said I wanted open government transparency.
I know, not you.
There are certain things. There are certain things that cannot be talked about in public because they're top secret.
Oh, okay. So 9/11's top secret, so we can't talk about that. The government can't tell us the truth, right?
That again, it's a very delicate situation. For example, you can't go telling people your secret plans if you're going to fight a war.
The hypocrisy in America lives strong. I love it. Hypocrites, everyone.
I'd rather live. But I'd rather have my government protect me.
They don't protect you though. They lie to you.
There's only so much protection, I guess, that can go around.
You just got lied to right now.
What's that?
The President Trump lied to you.
I'm still here.
Well, you're not even going out anywhere.
I went out Saturday.
One day?
Yes.
Well, you should have gone out when it was happening.
Well, all I'm saying is that if he chose, when the pandemic did hit, what was the first thing that went? Fucking toilet paper and
toilet paper.
And what was the other thing that we couldn't get? Face masks. So
right.
Could you imagine if he had said, "Oh my God, everybody panic because we've got a pandemic on our hands. We're all gonna die."
Well, I don't think he.
Imagine the insanity.
Yeah, well, I don't think you should go out and say it that way. But if he would have told the truth about a global pandemic that's on the verge, that's on the horizon, I think people would have liked that better. Isn't honesty the best policy?
Yes, to some extent, but you can even ask a psychiatrist that telling the truth sometimes is not always advantageous.
Telling the truth hurts, and that's what we do here.
But telling the truth is not always advantageous. That's from psychiatrists, saying that. You can't always tell the truth sometimes because it can set off. Look, man. I mean, look. Come on, man. I'm not gonna
live in a world of lies. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm not gonna live my life that way.
I completely understand how you may feel.
I'm gonna write it out. I'm gonna throw my balls in the air, and if anyone likes that or if they don't like that, I don't give a fuck.
Wherever they land.
Yeah, exactly. These people can't handle the truth. That's why.
Okay. I think some of the people couldn't handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth. That's the problem.
Which is why
everybody wants their hand to be held. That's the problem. What's that called? The second place culture. That's what that is.
Is that what that's called?
No winners.
So again, I'm assuming you thoroughly believe that they should have said, we should panic. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said. I said they should be truthful about the matter, about the virus, about the potential impact that it might have if we don't protect ourselves. We don't handle this the proper way.
Agreed. I agree with you on that. I also think that there are certain things that just...
And even Dr. Fauci was wrong, Mike.
Oh, Fauci's an idiot.
He was wrong about the mask very early on, too.
Yep. I completely agree.
Some people believe the mask doesn't work at all, but I mean, if that's the case, then why do surgeons wear it all the time? Why do nurses wear it all the time? Pre-COVID.
Well, that's so... Yeah, but...
Why did Michael Jackson wear...
I think we're talking about two different things.
We are,
here.
but why did Michael Jackson wear one before? Even Michael Jackson knew. Even the guy knew.
He's dead.
Even the weirdo Michael Jackson knew something was up.
Oh, gosh. This is a tough show, Mike.
All these people saying fear and panic. Well, all these fuckers out there, they would never go out and breathe in the virus and sign up to contract the virus, period.
But what about the same people who are walking around out on the streets with these masks on? I mean, do you walk on the street with the mask, like outside? Do you walk with a mask on?
Only when I have to go inside a store. Okay,
that was my point. Like, so you don't wear it outside walking down the street.
No, I'm not around anyone.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel.
Yeah,
so I don't think it's necessary.
I don't think you need to. I see people jogging with a mask on, or driving in a
car.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
Like even out here, like where I live, where there's like nobody for miles, and like if I'm driving down the road, I see somebody walking down the street with a mask on. I'm like, well, who are you going to talk to? What? There's like not another person around for like a mile.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's just around large crowds. That's all.
Right, and I agree. I agree.
Yeah, well, I think you'll be fine, Mike.
What's that?
When you went out, I think you'll be fine. I mean, you weren't out when it was really raging through the night in your area. That's for sure.
No. I was pretty much sequestered the whole winter.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the area that you're in, I'm sure there's not that many cases there.
We had a few cases, in fact, right in Wayne County, but not like, I got to be honest, don't quote me on this. I think it wasn't more than 40 people.
Oh, I see.
But I know Pennsylvania, had a decent amount. That's something like 2,000 or 4,000. I don't even remember.
And Mike, let's play the rest of that audio before we wrap it up here. Great stuff there. I know, Mike. We should all agree. Line is okay.
No, you got me all wrong, man.
Line is okay.
Not how I feel.
Hey, you got me all wrong. The line's okay. I lie all the time. I'm lying right now.
All I'm saying
Actually,
is
I'm fucking hungry, to be honest.
Oh, I bet you are.
I haven't ate all day.
Yeah, I know what you were doing.
Just drank coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? At least I didn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't lie about what I do.
Uh-huh.
That's right. It's because I got big balls and I don't lie about it.
Listen. As far as this Tom guy, Bob guy, personally, I think he falls into the same...
You think he's lying now?
Now, wait a minute. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that this guy... I think he falls into the same category of all the other media who just wants to, they want to screw Trump.
Oh, okay.
Look, the guy's
Everyone wants to screw Trump then.
The guy's not perfect. I don't agree with everything he says and or does. But you have to give him credit where credit is due. He's done more for this more for this country than the last 4 presidents combined. He's done this peace treaty in the Middle East,
So fucking what? Obama got one too.
What did Obama get?
He got nominated for that shit too.
He got nominated for what's that Nobel Prize? It's like he didn't even do anything when he became president. And
none of them do.
The peace, what the hell was it? Some kind of a, I want to say the Nobel Peace Prize or something like that. I can't remember, but he didn't even do anything.
It's all bullshit.
The what?
I said it's all bullshit anyways.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, Mike. I don't trust the king's men. Never have.
I know.
Never
I know
will.
You don't. I know you don't, and I respect that. I do. I really do.
Hey, they prove it for me. They prove it for me. It's on audio.
I don't know, man. I think dealing with other world powers who I think are far more devious than ours, I think sometimes there are things that just, can't be discussed in the public. I mean,
that's a cop-out.
Yeah. Call it what it may be, but I think some things are just too important to really let everyone else know. I'll be the first to admit that I think that there are certain things the public how do I explain this? That the office should refrain from telling the public because it would freak them out. Like the pandemic, this whole thing with the virus. I think, as I said before, people freaked out. They were taking hoarding toilet paper. Toilet paper? Of all things, could you imagine if we were told that it was a serious virus, that, there were things that we couldn't understand and that it's dangerous? There would have been mass hysteria. And there's far many people these days than there were 100 years ago, where it would cause far more destruction and havoc statewide. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
People are stupid. That's what I've learned. And Mike, I do want to thank you tremendously for being a part of the program. Always fun to have you here.
Likewise, Michael. I love it. And
of course.
I had another great show tonight. I really think we did a great job.
Oh, yes. Thank you greatly, those out there. Thanks for being a part of the program. Those of you in the chat room, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not. And, of course, the podcast rendition of this program, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Castbox, which is what I like.
Gasbox, that's how I feel right now.
Castbox, not Castbox.
Oh, I thought you said Gasbox.
But that would be a great name, though. That'd be a really good name.
Gasbox is full.
That might actually have some trouble with our Jewish friends, though.
Why is that?
A gas box?
Yeah, a gas box.
They were gas before.
What are you talking? Oh.
Don't tell me you're denying the Holocaust now, Mike.
I deny the Holocaust, Michael. Okay?
Oh my God, Mike.
No, I'm kidding. I
Good
don't.
Lord. You know who actually does deny the Holocaust? That Jim.
I was gonna just say that, sir.
I mean, you're not surprised with that, though, right?
We were on the same page
with
that one.
That's hilarious.
Good old Jim.
Love Jim. So, Mike, go ahead and plug anything you'd like. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
First and foremost, First and foremost, thank you to Michael. Thank you to the Michael Decon program, all the callers, all the listeners. Thank you so much.
They were great, weren't they?
It was a great night. Great night. I love these shows.
Even the ones I messed with, I appreciate them calling in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were great. Yeah. Regardless, they were part of the show.
So, a great show. I had a great time. And if anybody's interested in my music, and my releases and my efforts musically, go to MikeHideous.com. That's MYKE, hideous.com. If you would like to see and or purchase any of my artwork and or photography, go to horribleartwork.com. And last but not least, you can get me on Facebook at facebook.com/hideousmike, MYKE. Thank you very much, everyone. I had a blast tonight. Michael, thank you as always. You're a true inspiration to me. I have a great time on this show.
You got it, brother. Clockwise. We will talk soon again.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Mahalo. And there he goes, boys and girls, the one and only Mike Hideous. Once again, very, very special thanks to all of you who hung out with us this evening and the callers. Loved that. Donovan, don't worry, it's okay. We were just messing with you. Well, at least I was just messing with you. But I appreciate the calls. I really do. And a special thanks to Mike for hanging out yet again. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed tonight's program. The mind continues the race as it always does. Stay safe, everyone, no matter where you are on this island Earth. I'm Michael Decon, and with that said, the world is a mysterious place, and life itself is a mystery. Until next time, good night, everybody.
We'll be right back.